me ask everybody, how are you feeling? December 2019, 2020 is literally right on our doorsteps. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, every one of my subscribers. Welcome, every Uber and Lyft driver out there. If you're joining for a first time, if you're part of the public, if you are a rider or a passenger and you're coming across this channel, this video for the first time, who's in there? Junk Stuffix, how are you, buddy? He's clapping his hands. Good. He's the first in the room to make a comment. I salute you, my friends. I truly hope you guys, good afternoon, Hemet Valley, Honey Company, how are you, buddy? Big fan of bees and honey. I like your post there. I love protecting bees. They play a big role in our world, on our planet. Frank O'Connor, very good morning. Randy, how are you? I'm sitting at LAX having a coffee. Alan Mills in the house. Come down to LA, buddy. I'll always roll out the red carpets for you guys if you come down. Plus, I'm planning a good party in Vegas beginning 2020. And speaking of 2020, I'm sure you guys can agree with me. We did a lot of learning and a lot of growing together in 2019. Now, granted, 2019 is not over yet. We still have a couple of days to go, but what a year it was. What a testing year it was of changes, adjustments. You know, I am sure in your rideshare career, 2019 tested you the most. It certainly, D Banks in the house. Thanks for signing up for the driver course. And once you've completed that, please reach out to me, because then we have to have a 30 to 45-minute phone conversation and go over all of those points. And then there's certain stuff I share on the phone, just not directly in video format, because I know that there's a lot of people out there looking at my videos, copying courses. There's a certain amount of information that I only share over the phone. So D Banks, I await your call. Juan Garcia, here's to 2019, and even more important, here's to 2020. I can say one thing and one thing only. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your support throughout the year. Thank you for being part of pushing for change. Thank you for making change, right? And 2020, it's an exciting year, my friends. Can you remember, we just looked back the other day, it was year 2000, that big millennial bug was supposed to shut everything down. Can you remember 2000? And 20 years, bam, there it went. I'm not sure how long you guys have been in the, we'll talk about that, D-Banks. That's a whole separate video, a whole separate conversation about the LLCs, etc. But we'll talk about that. I'm not ignoring you. I just want to really recap 2019 and then, you know, talk briefly about 2020 that lies ahead. In the last year, I'll be honest, I've changed the direction and the focus of my channel a little bit. There's been a little bit of an adjustment, and that is really holding Uber and Lyft responsible and calling them out, right? Calling them out on a lot of stuff and pushing for positive change, right? I'm not shy to do that. You guys know that. So to me, it's not all about the money. I have my income streams. To me, it's about making positive change. And if you don't see that positive change, if you don't feel that positive change, if you cannot see the numbers reflect in your bank account, right, then I would kindly ask you to set your sights in 2020 on something else. I don't want you to go into 2020 frustrated. I don't want to see you going into 2020 unmotivated. I don't want to see you going into 2020 unhappy, right? Happiness and health, my friends, is so crucial, right? You come first, right? So you take care of one person only, and that is yourself. And then because you're taking care of yourself, you also have the ability to take care of your brothers, your sisters, your family, your kids, right? Your wife, in no particular order, right? I just mentioned their roles. But you truly are the numero uno, number one, die Nummer eins, right? And just think about that when you make your New Year's Eve, your New Year's resolutions. Like, how am I going to approach 2020 as an individual out there doing my very best in rideshare? Am I happy with 2019? Am I excited about 2020? Do I want to get out of the rideshare business? And that question you have to ask yourself, and to find that answer, you have to dig deep, deep, deep inside of yourself, my friends, right? So somewhere in the next 15 days, 14 days, find the time, take a day off and connect with yourself, right? And really see 2020 in front of yourself and say, hey, you know what? Things are on the up and up. I've got this down. I've mastered the formula. I have my own formula for Vegas. I have my own formula for New Jersey. I have my own formula for Uber Eats. I have my own formula for LA. I'm happy and I'm content going into 2020. If you have seen a very strong decline in your earnings, if you find yourself more irritated, if you find yourself more edgy, unhappy, and it's affecting your health, stop for a second, take that day off, and really, really, really go deep within yourself and say to yourself, do I want to continue this path in 2020? There is nobody out there that'll point fingers at you or judge you and say you failed, or hey, you gave up on rideshare. No, not at all. This is a decision for you, and whether you want to make 2020 work, or whether you're on the right path. Okay, enough said of that. The other thing is if we look at the roles of Uber and Lyft, you know the big points we're pushing for: safety, security. You know the big points we're pushing for: earnings, right? Stay focused, stay motivated, stay on track as far as that goes in 2020, because there has been instrumental change in California, right? You've seen a list of promises and a list of changes that they want to bring to California. In several of my last videos, I stated very, very clearly, we are not giving up until those rights, those changes, those conditions are conditions that are for all drivers. Every state, every country, right? This should not be Didi in China. I don't know. Do you drive for Didi in China? Good. I'm happy for you. Are you in China, or do you want to go over to China and immigrate to China and go and work for Didi? Whatever floats your boat, my friend. Whatever makes you happy, whatever fulfills your dreams, right? Being a little bit sarcastic here, but you know where I'm going with it. A few things. If you've been wronged, you go out there and make it right. You stand up for yourself, right? If you have a problem with a rider or a passenger, always stay true to yourself, right? Always understand what you will tolerate and what you will not tolerate, right? There is nothing wrong with ending a trip, my friends, right? There is nothing wrong with kicking people out of the car, right? Hopefully, these changes that Uber and Lyft are implementing, right, will soon be available to all of our brothers and sisters, whether you're in Arizona, Florida, Texas. We should all be able to see the destination. We should all be able to choose which trip we want to take and which trip we don't want to take, right? Some of the changes, some of the adjustments you can possibly make. Let me mention a few. You might be in a certain category or in a certain car and the numbers are just not adding up. If you do want to make some changes regarding categories, vehicles, etc., let's have that conversation. Reach out to me. Inland Empire, in the house, how are you? Let's have that conversation. I love having that conversation to find out where people are stuck and where we can possibly change things and head off into a positive direction. So 2019 has been extremely good for me. I'll be honest, I'll tell you why, is because I just looked at all the opportunities I can attach to Rideshare and monetize them. So I've gone after those. And generally speaking, it's been good for me, right? I'll also be very open and truthful. Yeah, referrals have declined a lot because Uber and Lyft have changed their system. So, the good days and referrals, they're not there, but that's okay. These are adjustments that Uber and Lyft have to make. What I want you to be is focused and continue help everyone around you pushing for change so we get better treatment all around from Uber and Lyft. What I also want you to be on the alert for is, a lot of scam stories coming out, a lot of people trying to steal a buck from you here or there. Just another huge story reported in Pittsburgh yesterday. I just want to, the golden rule is Uber and Lyft would never, ever call you on the phone or give you any promise over the phone as far as a dollar amount or a reward or a prize. Anytime you hear such a thing and you think it's too good to be true, it's not true. You walk away from it, right? So don't be lured into any traps in 2020. Don't be scammed. Just do your thing, right? And doing your thing is working your shifts or changing your shifts, driving. What's going on, Torsten and everyone? Dustin in the house. Dustin, big shout out to him. Thank you for 2019. Thank you for being such a great rideshare brother out there. Thank you for being there for the troops, for the drivers, and thank you for bringing attention to very important matters of the heart. Losing a beloved rideshare driver, Mandy, in 2019. I think Dustin can really look back at 2019 and say it was an amazing year for him, and he accomplished a lot. And he's definitely one of the top 3 or 4 voices to be reckoned with. So I salute you. I don't have champagne. I have, I need every reason to celebrate. I have coffee here, Dustin. But, being true to your cause, being true to your family, doing the very best, helping people around you. Wonderful to see you, Todd. Appreciate it. Thank you for sticking with us in 2019, Todd. And thank you, everyone, collectively, for pushing for change, right? That is, I think, one of the things that all the YouTubers, all the subscribers out there should do in 2020 is just support a neighbor, support the person next to you, right? And, reach out to him or her in the channels. How can I help you? How can I support you? How can I make your life better, right? Dustin says, yes, it was a crazy year for sure. And he salutes me in return. I appreciate you. I really do. I'm very good at reading people and seeing the kindness in their hearts. And those are the quality people I want to surround myself with, right? I don't want to surround myself with parasites and bloodsuckers and people that try and live off you or take away. This is an equitable exchange of energy, my friends, and we help each other. So I ask you, going into 2020, if you're at a parking lot, if you're at an event and you meet a fellow rideshare driver and you get into a conversation, always look for, what can I do for you? Or is there anything I can do for you to, help you out or make your rideshare life a bit better, or share some of my experiences, right? You are able of profound change if you care about individuals, if you care about humans, if you care about animals, if you care about elderly, if you care about the kids. Tavo L'Oreal, another amazing rideshare brother out there. I appreciate you guys. This is a video, just a recap video, just to see where we are at the end of 2019, right? And if you're in that grind and you're going in, day in, day out, and just burning yourself out, and you see certain changes in your health, if you've seen massive weight increases, if you've seen that you're getting rashes on your body, if you feel like your nerves are shot, if you're getting back pains, stop. Just stop for a second, take a day or two off, and what I call the eagle approach, fly up, look at yourself and say, hey buddy, are you taking care of yourself down there? Is everything okay? How can I help you? Right? And you appeal to your inner voice, to your inner child, right? You're talking to yourself. How can I help you, Torsten? Right? Dustin speaking to Dustin. How can I help you, Dustin? Right? We got to connect with ourselves, because when we powerful from within and we shine, the energy really is shared with those around us. It lifts other people up, right? But sometimes we're in this fog and in this haze, and we don't even see that, right? We don't even see light in front of us. We're just driving through this tunnel of fog and hopefully trying to see some light at the end of the tunnel. If you find yourself in that situation, my friends, in December 2019, I really need to ask you to take a step back and look and adjust things for 2020. Energy positive. You'll be getting nothing but positive energy from me, Tavo, because that's all you deserve, right? I'm not judging you. I'm appreciating you, and I'm trying to work with you. And we're trying to work with each other to uplift the entire rideshare community, right? To make things better, to bring change for everyone. These changes that Uber and Lyft have spoken about and have put out there, maybe to get California drivers excited. The bottom line is that Uber has to follow through with them, right? You cannot make a promise to an individual and not follow through. So when you tell a driver, hey, you will have the ability to see the destination, you will have the ability to choose which trip you want to take and which trip you do not want to take, Uber will have to follow through with that, right? And I want to tell Uber or whoever works at Uber, the people out there making you the money, the drivers, the people that are hustling out there on the streets, driving people day and night in rain, no rain, right? Making the head office the money so that the salaries are paid. In 2020, reach out to the drivers and work with them, right? So this invitation is an invite to the CEOs, to the upper management, to the employees to work with us in 2020, not work against us. Working against us is very, very counterproductive, right? When you work together as a team, if you're a team player, I'm telling you, you'll achieve far, far bigger things. So if that mindset, if that cultural change can take place, hopefully within 2020, I know that the pressure is constantly going to be put on Uber and Lyft until change is there. And we will constantly hold them responsible in 2020 until they've given us the change and the respect and the integrity that we deserve, right? Because we are so crucial to their enterprise, right? We are what drives that enterprise, and that they should never forget. So, that is what I seek in 2020. Obviously, I seek the very best for you, but I also seek the change from Uber and Lyft. And we should never lose sight on that, right? We should stay focused and push for that. Tava says if Uber and Lyft would listen to you and Dustin, this would be a perfect job. And you know what? The Dustins and the Torstens will have to keep on pushing those messages out, and you can resonate those messages, share those messages, because if you say something enough times, it eventually sinks in, right? It's the same with a child. If you tell a kid a few times, cannot do that, that is wrong, they eventually get that. They're learning. So we will allow Uber and Lyft to learn from us by constantly putting this energy and this request out there that we expect certain things. We deserve certain things. And I think the numero uno, the number one here, is that in this office, in these four walls here, right, behind your steering wheel, is that you are kept safe. And that the people that fill these seats behind you, that they are kept safe, right? What can you, Uber and Lyft, do to this environment in this car to keep it safe? Are you willing to spend money on technology? Are you willing to brainstorm and look at other ways? Are you willing to be a trendsetter or an innovator or an inventor and come up with things to keep us and these individuals that fill these seats safe? That is what I seek in 2020, right? Nightjack is hello from OC, had a really amazing money weekend. Dude, I'm happy you. Oh, I was at Rolling Loud. Just want to let you know. $285 tickets. I took my 16-year-old. I didn't stay all the hours on Saturday to my friend in the OC. But man, that was crazy. 65,000 people downtown LA, right next to USC at the Coliseum down there. My kid did 12 p.m. noon till 2 a.m. I did about 3 or 4 hours with him. We went over into the VIP section, and we did it again on Sunday. He did 12 to 12 on Sunday last night. I was exhausted, right? I fitted a couple of trips in there because I had a couple of commitments, but it was my Christmas gift to my 16-year-old that he goes out there and enjoys a 2-day music festival with all these artists. And honestly, I can say in those 48 hours, he did a lot of learning and growing up, right? How to engage with crowds, how to treat people around you when you are in crowds. So for me, it was a great teaching experience. I have been to tons and tons of concerts in my life. I'm a huge fan of music events and concerts, you know, from Elton John, Queen, to techno raves, to Tiesto, to Ray Shremmerd, Travis Scott. I will go to any type of music, whether it's classic event, reggae festival, hip hop festival, techno festival. I love music, and I love being in those big crowds and partying, right? So to have that ability to connect with my son over the weekend at a music festival, it was amazing. It was an amazing experience for a father who did this when he was a teenager, and then to share those moments with your son. Paula's in the house. What a year, yeah. So here's to 2019, my friends. Here's to 2019, a year filled with changes, a year filled maybe with anxiety, a year filled with opportunity, a year that truly sets the stage for 2020, right? I see big things happening in 2020. I also see big things happening for you if you're not happy in this industry, and that you pull the cord, you take the parachute, you hand in your divorce papers to Uber and Lyft, and you do something different, right? Don't be afraid of change. Never be afraid of change. Go towards change, embrace change. You have to change and make things for the better of you. You only. You are the numero uno, the number one out there. And like I say, when you recharge your batteries, when you fill your batteries, you are there for everyone. You are there for your family. You are there for your kids. You are there for your wife. You are there for your husband. Why? Is because you are the numero uno, my friend, because you are showing up in your authentic self. You're being authentic and truthful to yourself. I'm not happy with these conditions. I will change these conditions, right? I am improving my formula. I will do even better in 2020, right? So I guess we could sum up 2019 moving into 2020. Maybe this is an inspirational video. Maybe you think I'm trying to just give you a little bit of a lift to up. And no, I want to put everything in perspective here, right? Is that I do the very best I can for myself, and because my cells and my battery is charged, I have the energy and power to help others, right? And I have the energy and power to take on Uber and Lyft, right, in various forms, and to stand up to any type of bullying or bad behavior, right? So, but you can only get there when you truly take care of yourself, right? So that's my message here, folks. So however you want to call this video, right, you can see that by the title of my video, right, is that We're in December 2019. We're going into 2020. You and I ain't getting younger, right? We're a year older, right? We're a year wiser, right? We're a year smarter. So when you take that wisdom, when you take those smarts, what did you learn from 2019? What will you accept and what will you not tolerate? Take that with you into 2020, my friends. Really, right? And what you can do is, if you haven't created any social media accounts, please do, right? I would carefully say that 95% of you have a Facebook account. If you have a Facebook account, join groups. Join Uber Orange County. Join Uber Los Angeles. Join Lyft Chicago. Reach out to brothers and sisters. See where they're coming from. If your batteries are full and charged and you're doing well and you feel that someone may be falling behind in one of these groups or seems frustrated, reach out. Share some energy, share some support. What I have noticed in 2019, with so many topics out there, right? So much to discuss in the rideshare world, I'm amazed and blown away by the help and the support that drivers give each other. There's one driver that says this: how do I solve this, or what do you suggest? 3 or 4 answers within 24 hours. I see the messages, right? Because they're coming through my channel. So the beauty here is that this is such a unique family that sticks together, right? Rideshare drivers stick together through thick and thin. That is my experience, right? So, you know, you may, if you feel that you may be jealous towards your neighbor because he or she is driving an SUV or an XL and you feel like you're stuck in X, you know, remove yourself from that jealousy. Care about you and care about the path going forward. Care about how you are going to increase and up your game. Don't let yourself ever be brought down by maybe the jealousy of what the other has. Don't measure yourself by another driver. Just work together in harmony and solve the problems together in harmony. I can tell you, you will do wonders. Lauren says, eat fruit for cleansing a few days. I salute you. I welcome that idea. Just read what he said, right? Take care of yourself. And that goes for everything you put in your mouth, into your body, everything that goes into your liver, your kidneys, right? From the liquids. Am I drinking too many vodkas? Maybe I need to cut off the alcohol in 2020, right? Am I getting enough good, healthy greens and fruits into my body? Am I getting enough water on a daily basis driving around? Here's the key question. Am I taking care of myself? Because I am numero uno. And when I'm saying not I, Torsten is numero uno, you, each and every one of you is numero uno, the number one. So taking care of yourself, resting, right? Maybe adjusting the shifts. Are you working too late? Are you burning yourself out? I need you to take a day off this weekend or so and say, screw this, I'm not driving. It's for me. This day before Christmas, the 25th, I'm setting aside for myself, and I'm going to make myself numero uno on that day, whether it's this Saturday or this Sunday. Go down to the beach, go down for a walk, go to a park, go and take a walk in the forest. Whatever you do, make it a day for yourself, right? And reevaluate things. Where am I in 2019, and am I going in the right direction in 2020? And remember, New Year's Eve, Rose, no boost, no surge, no ride. And that video is spreading very, very quickly, right? So share that hashtag. No boost, no surge, no ride. Just let it go viral throughout social media. And please, for those people out there that are coming across this video, even if you are the public, even if you are riders, we want to work and create harmony between drivers and riders in 2020. You, the public, you, the riders, you can support us through your social media channels and stand up for us and stand and push for more security, more safety, and that your driver who gets you to that meeting on time, who gets you to that show on time, who gets you on that plane on time, who gets you home safe after a night of clubbing. Make sure that you use your social media channels, dear public, dear rider, dear passenger. I'm appealing to you right now. You are also numero uno. You could do very basic things to improve our lives, right? By just bringing awareness through your social media to the driver and show them how much you respect and how much you enjoy them and how much you appreciate them and what they do for you, right? So this is an appeal from me as a voice for the drivers, to the public, to the passengers, to the riders in 2020. Let's work together. Let's not work against each other. It doesn't help you to try and scam a driver over $100 or $500, right? You'll make a lot of enemies along the line, right? So if your intentions are not pure in 2020, and I'm speaking to the public, I'm speaking to the riders and the passengers right now. Remember what I say here. When your intentions are not pure, right? If you think that you're going to go into that car and cause havoc, if you think that you are more superior than that driver in the car, right? If you think that you're going to try and scam someone or get them wrongfully deactivated, I ask you kindly in 2020 just to take a step back and say, is this really worth it, right? Or can I, right, as a passenger or as a rider or someone in the public that is thinking of joining Rideshare, make an impact and work with my driver, work together with the driver community to make that relationship between drivers and riders better. I ask you to think about that in 2020, right? And help us on the Uber and Lyft side, right? The big corporates, right? Help us push for change there. Because I think that if drivers and riders, passengers could work together as a rideshare family, as an extended family, we could push for good change in these big corporations in 2020, right? So let that sink in, right? Not a video just tailored towards drivers today, but also a shout out to riders and passengers that we want to work with you in 2020. And, you know, keep it real. Just understand that, is it really worth it to try and cheat the system over $5 or $10 and get your driver deactivated over that, or wrongfully deactivated over that because you are making something up? Right? Stop yourself for a second. You know, come from truth, come from authenticity. You know, let's move collectively away from this word that was created in the media, this word fake, F-A-K-E. It's such a disastrous, terrible, toxic word, this word fake. Let's make things real again in 2020. Let's make it a real playing field where we're a team, where drivers and passengers work together. You get a good trip, you tip your driver. You have a great passenger on board, you let them know that they are an amazing 5-star passenger and you appreciate them and how cool it was to share that 1-hour drive to the airport with them, right? Make a difference, right? The driver can make a difference, the passenger can make a difference. And together, the difference that we push for is the difference that the corporations can make.